safety focused and very hungry for automation and technology, and that's really because they're actually asking for technologies that don't even exist today. So there's a technology adoption life cycle which I think is very relevant. It was first developed by a guy called Rogers back in 1983, and it was for market-led kind of mainstream products and how they're adopted. So you've usually got you've got innovators and early adopters, and then that transitions over into the mainstream. So you've got some countries that are innovators and early adopters, and I think where we are right now is in India, we're probably not at that early adoption stage. I think there's an opportunity to bring in technologies from other countries and implement them within India. Certainly from an underground soft rock and coal perspective, there are inherent complications with technology because the depths and the distances are more complex. You've also got to keep a roof under control above your head, so it does make it's completely different from surface mining. And then we need to understand the geological conditions and the mining sequences within underground as well. But we've got to really clearly understand what it is that you want to achieve from technology and automation. So I think in India, there's an important step that there needs to be a push that is perhaps driven by the ministry and driven by the government to try and encourage mining companies to adopt technology. But I think from conversations that we're having with underground customers here in India, there's more appetite for technology and automation. And really, to me, it's not just about what the machines can do. It's about the entire ecosystem that supports the equipment. Of course, we're an OEM, so I think about the equipment at the face, but there's no use in having a racehorse at the cutting face when all of the out-by systems are not there to support it. So last week I was at a mine in the US, and it was a complete transformation from the conditions that we see here in India. The ventilation was fantastic, the man-riding systems were there, the materials and the people transport was all there. The actual working conditions, I didn't even sweat. There wasn't, any humidity, any heat there. And that's just an expectation. All of that has got to be in place. That ecosystem has to be there to then think about introducing the technology. So the baseline has to be in place. So technology doesn't replace people. It might change the roles that they do. And it certainly doesn't fix your mining problems. It enhances the mining operations. And that's the way to think about it. It allows you to create repeatability and consistency in your mining processes so that you can become more productive. So I think that's the way that we need to be thinking about it. Thank you.
Thank you, Helen. I think very well summarized and captured. And you would also agree that some of the mines in India, especially in the private sector, are also becoming smart mines and catching up with the international best practices. While there's a very long way to go, especially in coal, I would say, but the transformation is just getting started. Yeah. Thank you. Natasha, my next question is to you. There's a whole lot of buzz on data. So how is data becoming a valuable resource as the minerals are getting extracted? And how can mining companies leverage data analytics to optimize operations and also to reduce environmental impact? If you would like to share some examples from Tata Steel Mining.
Okay, thanks, Ruchika, and my very good afternoon to all of you. If you talk about data, Ruchika, I feel that data has always been there, as playing an important role. But now, with the wave of digitalization, it is something like, everybody is speaking on this word, data, okay? So earlier only, those people who were in the analytics or statisticians, they were, using this word, okay? So definitely, today, it is a strategic asset. Data has become a strategic asset. And the way you find a difference now, wherever you go in your organization, people are seeking this need, okay, that I need to generate data. Okay, this is a big change which has happened. So data generation has become very important, and hence, followed by the analytics. In retail industry, in fact, they are using it heavily to build the competitive edge, because you must have felt, each one of us are using different platform, and we are, using these platforms, getting the customized and, personalized experiences. But in manufacturing and in mining industry, there is a quest of decision making. There is a need of valuable insights. Okay, we want predictive ability uh, to be built with the people. So these are the three areas where a mining firm can definitely do wonders with data. So coming to the examples, since you have asked from Tata Steel, I'm just sharing some of the examples. So when you are talking about operations, we see that, starting it, there is a lot of data we are generating with our exploration, right? So I'm much on OpenCast I'm sharing. So these exploration data, there are advanced techniques available, there are advanced softwares available. So now you can have a very near to accurate, over body modeling, okay, which is quite helpful in having your mine production planning development and ensuring that how less and less waste you can generate from your operations. So the operational efficiency increase manifold. It also, is helping in blasting efficiencies, right? So how we can reduce the vibrations, the ground vibrations, the air vibrations, all this are becoming possible with the uses of data analytics. So these are the few ones, just to say. In operations, we are also having, something called connected workforce. So what it is, very by word itself, you understand that each and every person in the mines, they are connected. Okay, so you can track where they are, and they can raise alarms whenever they need to. Okay, so this is some examples when you talk about operations. When you come to supply chain and logistics, where we are using HEMMs, there are trucks, every day lot many trucks are getting entered into the mining premises. So there also we are using heavily this data and analytics. There are smart mining we are talking about, so autonomous vehicles. Recently we have implemented a system called e-logistics. So there we are just reducing the turnaround time, which every truck has to, they were putting it, some time back. So it's now reduced to half of it. Okay, there is very less number of document and papers which we are allowing, and which we are, using nowadays. And these drivers, the transporters, they are very happy that, okay, you are helping us by reducing the turnaround time like this. So the whole operational efficiency has, gone to the next level of it. If you talk about environment, there also it is energy, water, all these things we are also collaborating with some partners who are helping us in monitoring of water consumption all around, and thus by reducing. So one of the mines is actually water neutral. We are having zero discharge from there. And all the consumptions are getting, there is a, people who are staying over there, they are using the water, the drinking water is from that treated, plant. So these are some of the examples which we are, keeping and using with not only, analytics bends it, but starting with the data generation. Yeah.
No, thank you so much, Natasha, for such a detailed, insight. And I think from what I can hear from you, and the audience would agree with me, that wherever the data is being deployed for decision making or operational efficiency, there's also a business case attached to it. It's also helping in some kind of cost reduction, or like you gave an example of, truck turnaround time and less number of trips, and reduction in the overall, logistics footprint. That also has an impact on the environment as well. So pretty well captured, and thank you so much. Nandini, the next question is to you. So Nandini, I think we all know here that you've been a very big advocate of underground mining. You've spoken about it in many forums. How do you think digitization, automation, robotics can actually contribute to more sustainable underground mining and minimize these footprints to the environment?
Thank you very much, Ruchika. First of all, I would like to extend a very hearty welcome to everybody in the audience for hearing the women speak about mining, which is a very, very big difference. Normally, it's the men who speak. But bringing in my perspective, I think productivity is what every miner is looking at. How do we get productivity? If we have a machine that breaks down when it's not supposed to, what do we do about it? We've lost production. And one of these mechanized mines runs into thousands of crores or hundreds of crores. We need a technology that collects all this information in the form of a data, puts it together, and says, hey, your motor is going, or hey, your shuttle car is breaking down, or your CMX system is not working. And all this comes through a data-driven technology. So we are talking about data, and at Mineline, what we do is we are the people who collect the data. So if you have a longwall mine, I have an automation mounted on the electrical system itself that collects this data and tells you on a VGA screen running on Windows 10. We are the only company in the world to start this, and it is a roaring success wherever we put it. What it helps is that it predicts before the breakdown what is going to break down. Your insulation or your voltage or your relay or anything, any parameter. We can monitor up to 22 parameters. And you can take this data right up to the surface using fiber optic cables. Or you can catch the data on a pen drive or any module you'd want to. And this is visible on a screen, and you can monitor the screen or change any one of the parameters depending on the password that you have externally. You don't even have to open that flame-proof enclosure. So you externally on a touchpad mouse, depending whether you're the operator or you're the manager or you're the last system, So this is what data can do. This is a very, very important aspect in an underground mine where most of the Indian mines have failed due to reasons where we have not been able to predict what might fail and when it might fail or where it might fail. So if it's like walking into a doctor's chamber and the doctor already knows, he's got your analytics on the table before you even walk in. He's got your pressure, he's got your creatinine, So this is where we've taken the technology. Another very important point which I would like to make, which was already made by Natasha, is this data is very, very important for correlating the mining geological conditions. She's talking about an open cast mine where at least you're stripping it open, you can see. Can you imagine what happens when you don't have a proper detailed project report in an underground mine? When you're in for the nastiest surprises of your life, and then you say, okay, mechanized mines, longwall, doesn't work in India. Continuous miners, no. We will strip everything down to its bare bone, and the last tree, and the last branch, and the last leaf will go. So that's my take on it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Nandini. Very